Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo and welcome to my scrapbook table. I am not scrapbooking today. I am playing with a sealing wax kit that I ordered from Amazon the other day after seeing them for a while, and I wanted to give it a try. So here's what I ordered. It came with 10 tea light candles, this little stand, a silicone mat to work on, some tiny tweezers, two of these seals, one's a snowflake, one's a castle, the spoon that you melt the wax in, and that little scraper tool. It also came with these two metallic markers and little adhesive rounds that you put on the back of the seals when you want to use them. And here is the color packet that I chose. And so what you're watching here is I'm going to make the second batch. These are the that I'm showing you now. I tried yesterday. That was the first time I had ever done that. And I just watched a video and gave it a try. I am an absolute beginner. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I decided to just play and see what happened. So I am adding two different greens and a turquoisey blue. And I'm going to let those melt in the spoon. And I don't know, it takes a minute or two. It's not real long. I do stop the video and cut out a lot of the melting portion just so you don't have to sit there and stare at that. So here that's mostly melted. I am stirring it a tiny bit so I get some swirled effect. And I'm ready to pour. The video said to keep your spoon very close to the surface that you're pouring it onto. I don't know why, but it says that, so I tried to do that. And then I just plop this down on top. The main trouble I have is that I don't, at least about half the time, I don't get the mold thing with the image in the center, and so it's a little off center. So for that one, the first one there did not work, so I'm just going to remelt it. I just cut it into small enough pieces to fit back in the spoon, and I have found that it remelts just fine. Now, it's not quite as swirly as the original, but it's still pretty, and I'm okay with that. So you let it sit there for a little bit, and you give it a try to move it, and if it moves easily, then you know it's done. And so here is this one. Bluish green with a snowflake on it, and I will show you close-up shots in just a couple of minutes at the end of this 7 or 8 minute video here. And here's the one that I remelted, and I'm just gonna pour that. I was making sure it was all melted and stirred up. There we go. And plop this on top. And let it sit. These pieces do where the candle is and the little spoon, they do get very hot, so be careful. Here's another one, and that one turned out just right. And now I've decided I'm going to do some reds and a gold. And I'm going to use the image of a castle. So again, I have that all melted. I did one, it didn't work out because it wasn't in the center. You can see the little bits there to the right. So I melted some more and I'm pouring. Isn't that a gorgeous color? And there we go. And this one, I think, if I remember right, turned out okay. So I am doing some remelting. And here is that one. So pretty. And last, I decided I wanted to do some black, but I'm using up what's in here first. And I'm using that little stirrer stick, kind of like a scoop, to get out the last of the wax. And then once it's cooled from the spoon, I just used like a baby wipe and cleaned it out. So here I'm adding 4 black ones and letting those melt, because my idea is to take this silver marker and color the raised snowflake image with the silver on top of the black seal, which I hope that makes sense. You'll see in just a moment. So here I'm just pulling off the wax that's on the stirring stick, and I tossed it in the little bin that most closely fits the color. And while that melts, here are these little adhesive circle things. So you just peel it off of there. There's no brand on those, I'm not really sure. And stick it on the back, and then that will let me put it on an envelope or some craft or a scrapbook page. So this is melted. It's probably, I left it on there a little bit too long because it seemed like almost smoky. So I let it sit for just a minute and then I poured. And now I'm doing a couple more black and I add a silver, but I wanted the silver in different places. I didn't want it all in a blob in the middle. So I cut it into 3 little wedges and added that. I just used my X-Acto knife and added that in there. So there we go. And here's the snowflake. Now, it is uneven a little bit, but I decided the image was so great that I was just going to cut that off with my X-Acto knife. And I didn't do it all right here, but I could tell that I thought that was going to work. So I went ahead and I'm just coloring the raised parts with the silver marker. And it's not perfect, but I'm okay with that. And there we go. And again, I probably left that wax over the candle a little too long, but there's what it looks like. And just pour it down. The silver is kind of swirled around in it. And I actually like the other one better. This is pretty, but the snowflake shows up more nicely on the other one. So I'm just about done. I will show you some still shots of the ones I've made. And I'm really glad I bought this. I've had fun with it. I think it would be, it's just a nice addition to my stash. And it doesn't take up much space. Except now I'll probably start collecting little, the mold thingies so that I have more designs. But here's what I made today. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.